Minnesota Representative Melissa Hortman and Senator John Hoffman were both shot last night in their homes, as well as their spouses, by someone impersonating a police officer. Here are all the facts as we know them right now, and questions that may help you understand what is going on at the moment. 2 a.m. Saturday, June 14th, John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were both shot in their Champlin home. They're both in surgery and in recovery. 3:35 a.m. Saturday, June 14th, police entered Melissa Hortman's Brooklyn Park residence after a suspect fired at law enforcement. The suspect got away, and Hortman and her husband Mark were found dead at the scene. It's been reported the suspect is described as a white male with brown hair wearing black body armor over a blue shirt and pants. He's believed to have impersonated a law enforcement officer during the attack. Here are 4 moments from the press conference just held this morning.
Heard by one of our sergeants that it was at Senator Hoffman's home. In hearing that very intuitive sergeant asked our officers to go check on Melissa Hortman's home, the representative that lives in our community, just proactively as due diligence to swing by.
That's Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley saying that cops just had a hunch that Representative Melissa Hortman's house should be attended to after they got to Hoffman's house. When they got to Hortman's house, they saw the gunman dressed in a police uniform who fired at law enforcement and escaped on foot.
They did drive a vehicle that looked exactly like an SUV squad car. It was equipped with lights, emergency lights that looked exactly like a police vehicle.
According to this press conference, the shooter had a cop SUV that looked exactly like the vehicles cops drive. The suspect was equipped with a vest, taser, and according to Mark Bruley, appeared to have all the equipment a cop would have.
You said the word targeted, so targeted because they're politicians or targeted because they're Democratic?
That's a question from KARE 11's Janice Shortall, looking to the BCA's Drew Evans to specify the use of the word targeted if Hoffman and Hortman were targeted because they're politicians or because they're politicians who are Democrats. Lastly, this.
I will tell you, when we did a search of the vehicle, there wasn't a manifesto that identified many lawmakers and other officials.
Again, that's from Mark Bruley saying that there was a list of people in the suspect's car. Important elements to point out: the timing. This occurred just before mass protests are to take place today addressing Donald Trump. The way it was done, impersonating a cop. Mark Bruley addressed this more in the press conference, but it begs the question of how public will now respond to police in the Brooklyn Park area and surrounding areas as well. Lastly, language is important, and I believe it may be appropriate at this time to say Representative Melissa Hortman was assassinated. Just so you can know more about her, here's a very brief, understated history of her career over the past months and years. In July 2020, Hortman helped negotiate a police reform bill which limits the use of neck restraints and chokeholds, prohibits departments from offering controversial warrior-style training, and creates an independent state unit to investigate when a police officer kills someone or is accused of sexual misconduct. From the start of the 94th legislature in January 2025 until early February, she led a boycott of House sessions to deny Republicans a quorum to conduct business. After a power-sharing agreement was reached, Hortman served again as minority leader until March 17th, when a special election created a tie between the parties in the House. Her title then changed to DFL leader, and she was granted significant powers alongside Republican Speaker Lisa DeMuth. As you most likely already know, this story is developing, and you can find out more about it at onsitepublicmedia.substack.com.